Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are going to talk, is it a surprise? Mbappé. We're also going to talk about Odriozola and his potential departure from Real Madrid. And we're also going to talk a little bit about Takefusa Kubo's astronomical offer that he received, that he rejected. So let's get right into it. Before we do, sorry for the late upload for yesterday's video. It was actually uploaded today. So technically it's two videos in a day, but yeah, I fell asleep. So I'm sorry for that. But let's move on. Let's talk about Kylian Mbappé. Now, yesterday we talked about Mbappé and his side will be meeting PSG. Now, confirmed by a few reliable sources, that meeting did not happen. So, the meeting between Mbappe's mother and his side, his camp, and PSG and Nasser Al-Khelaifi did not happen. Now, what this mean? It doesn't mean anything. Like, it does not mean anything. Now, there was a story, I believe, somewhere. I can't remember the source, but they were saying that if PSG and Mbappe's camp fail to, negotiate and fail to get an agreement, then we'll see Mbappe potentially leave. Now, bear in mind that I think PSG's stance is still the same. Either you sign that contract that we offer you, the 2 to 3 year extension, which could include somewhat of a clause, maybe it's a principal agreement that you can leave next year, which I don't think they will allow, or you leave this summer. Now, I think Mbappe wants to stay, but doesn't want to sign a new contract. I think that it's very obvious. I think everybody knows this by now. But what has been extra to this news is now Mbappe's side are negotiating, but they didn't actually meet. So what could this mean? Now, even though I did say it doesn't really mean anything, because again, they can still meet PSG tomorrow. They can meet them, next Friday. For all we know, they can still meet. Just because they didn't meet yesterday doesn't mean they're not gonna meet in the future. But if they do not meet, however, I think the chances of Mbappe leaving gets higher. And this is where we have to keep a lookout for. Because if negotiations do not take place or an agreement is not reached, I think Real Madrid will be sniffing, will be thinking about going in for Mbappe. I think just wait till something big happens between PSG and Mbappe's camp, and then Real Madrid will go in for Mbappe. So, look, right now it's still nothing much. There's still nothing progressing. There's still big news coming out, even though there's nothing. Because, like we've said, the media and Mbappe wants the attention because they make money out of it. The media, writing these magazines, newspapers, everything. They get the money for it. They get paid well. So honestly, it makes sense for there to be so much about Mbappe. But if you're anything about football, you would know that this is not just a straightforward deal. This takes time. And we're talking time that happened 2 years ago in 2021. In 2022, we wanted Mbappe. We've been wanting him for 2 years. We've gone in for an offer for 2 years, and it hasn't even happened yet. So, look, it's gonna take time. We're already at the start of July now. I expect this to go on and on and on until the middle of July, and then, by all you know, we are in August. So, look, this is gonna take a lot of time. So, to all those Real Madrid fans that are impatient, let me tell you something, right? do not expect Mbappe's arrival to be quick, because this is not a quick deal. If not, Real Madrid would have done it. If you want a quick deal, then be on the boat, be on the ship that many people actually are. That we do not want Mbappe, and we would rather sign Harry Kane or Vlahovic or Colomboani or whoever. It doesn't matter who, it doesn't matter how expensive, it does. But the point really isn't about that player. It is about not signing Mbappe, because it's going to take a lot of money, a lot of effort, and a lot of time. You know, you can agree with signing Kane, you can disagree with signing Colomboani, but you're both, if both of you guys, right, if there's two people and one of the person says, you know what, I want Kane, and then the other person says, I want Colomboani, no, even though they are not agreeing on who they want, they're not agreeing on Mbappe either. So look, if you want Mbappe, then fair enough, you know, I get it. But if you don't, I think it's best to put it out there. And I'm not saying that you should be vocal about it. Like, not everybody has to come out publicly and say, you know what, I don't Mbappe. But at least to yourself, think about it for yourself. You know, you don't have to tell anyone. But for yourself, you know, is it time? Do you think that it's time to just stop this Mbappe saga and just move on? I think it's time. I think it's long past it, and can we just move on from this Mbappe deal? I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of this. But here we are every day having to talk about it. Now, let's talk about Odriozola. What's the latest? Now, it's been confirmed that Real Sociedad won Odriozola. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I'm pretty sure, there were reports that Juventus won Odriozola. Now, I'm not sure if that's still a thing, but currently there's no noise about Juve, so we just have to put that on hold. But Real Sociedad won Odriozola. I'm pretty sure he used to play for Real Sociedad when we signed him. So, you know, it sounds like it's going to be a good move. It sounds like everything's going in plan. You know, what's wrong? You know, Real Madrid, you know, apparently won 5 to 10 million euros, which seems a very, very limited amount, to say the least. But what more do you expect to get off a player like Odriozola, who hasn't even played much? I think he played like 30 minutes or something. You know, what do you expect? Nothing, really. But, you know, I don't care if Real Madrid sign for 5 million euros. I just don't care, you know. Just leave, to say the least. But this news that came out is very hilarious. Now, let me see if I can load it out for you guys. Now, this is the news. Now, from this source here, Lacer, Real Sociedad would prefer not to pay a fee for Odriozola. Now, I found this really, really funny. So I was thinking, what can I say that would be hilarious? So I said, I really, really want my McDonald's order, but I prefer not to pay for it, to be honest. Now, it's coming out from a pretty reliable source, to say the least. At least it looks like it. Yeah, it's a joke. You want the player, you pay. It's 5 million euros. Like, honestly, come on. It's the same logic. Like, imagine just walking to McDonald's. You know, you go over there and then you get a McSpicy, and then you're done ordering, and then the guy says, it's $8, and you say, well, you know, I would really, really love my McSpicy, but I prefer not to pay for it. I think the guy will literally chase you out of the store. So, you know what? It's the same thing. If you want the player, pay for it. If not, you'll be chased out, and if not, you'll not be able to get the player. It's the same logic. I think what this source is saying and what Real Sociedad are trying to do here is absolutely hilarious. I can't stop laughing at it. Now, I found this news shocking. I think a lot of people did as well, but here it is. Kubo basically has rejected a 160 million euro offer from Al Hilal. Now, bear in mind that this offer is not the transfer fee. This offer is his salary. So they are willing to give him a 4-year deal, So if 160 million you divide into 4, it's 40 million. So basically they're willing to pay him 40 million per year. Now go and do the calculations if you want about how much that is. Per year would be about 3.5 million a month. Now making 3 million a month is ridiculous. That's basically, I want to say he makes about 700k a week. So basically if he goes to Saudi, he'll make about 700k a week. That is hilarious. That is absolutely bizarre. Now, we've almost kind of expected that the Saudis will come in from these younger players. But 6, 7, 800k a week, that's incredible. So bear in mind, this is the salary, not the transfer fee, because people get it mixed up here. Because it said that if he accepted, Real Madrid will receive 30 million euros as they have a 50% sell-on clause. So people thought this is a transfer fee, and this is divided of it. So technically, if this was a transfer fee, this would be 80 million euros, right? But it's not, because they've offered 60 million euros because it's a release clause, right? So it's the player's release clause. Kubo received a 4-year contract with a salary of 40 million euros per season. So just for clarification to those of you that are like, what? But regardless, like, what? How has he rejected that? Like, if I'm Kubo, and look, I'm saying it of a person that doesn't really aspires to be a football player. Yes, I'm a football fan and I love watching football, but I'm never really going to be a football player. So I'm just gonna make it clear that I will absolutely take it. But as a football player, until you get to the ages of like Benzema and Kante, you're not really going to accept it unless you have no ambition. Like I said, that's about 600, 700k a week, which is incredible to decline, to not even accept it, man. Oh my days. In fact, it's even 700k. So 700k is 2.700k, 2.8 a month, 2.8 times 12, somewhat there, about 700k a month, a week. I mean, that's a huge sum of money to reject. And fair play to the lad. Of course, Real Madrid would have gotten 30 million euros, which is a good chunk of money, but it's not going to happen. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Let me know what your thoughts are on Mbappé. Do you think he'll stay or do you think he'll leave? Also on Odriozola and their hilarious piece of news. And also on Kubo, man, rejecting Al Hilal. Let me know down below. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the like button if you did. Subscribe to the channel if it's on already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.